Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Thanks for joining me. Now, at the time of this recording, the man responsible for taking the life of Brian Thompson, the CEO of UnitedHealthcare, is still at large. He's still out there, cannot be found. But there's some things that are very strange about this case. One of them is that Brian Thompson, CEO of UnitedHealthcare, the man brings in $10 million a year as CEO. And I'm sure he has some very hefty bonuses coming on top of that. Yet and still, the reward money posted to capture his assailant, $10,000. $10,000. I think any unknown person in a high profile or a story that caught on to the public could get that kind of reward money posted for them as an unknown person. And this man making that kind of money, there's something odd. I also find it very odd that Brian Thompson was suited and booted already. It's just a little past 6:30 when he made it to the Hilton. He was not a guest of the Hilton Hotel. He was supposed to meet with shareholders or investors to let them know his projections for 2025, and I guess how they are finishing up the year 2024. Sick profits. I mean, it makes my stomach turn to think about how many people had to be denied care for him to reach, for that company to reach these kind of profits. It's insane. And the public sentiment, it all seems to be the same. Everybody seems to be unanimous. It's a no-brainer that this young man, who is, by the way, getting more sympathy than Brian Thompson is. It's like unanimous. If you read the comments on any post, any news article, which I have some comments to read to you, they're all like, hey, this young man, someone in his family was denied health care and they probably suffered terribly because of it. So it's like United Healthcare is the villain. And a lot of these corporations, for the masses of people, they have been the villains in their lives. And healthcare is something that everybody needs. You may not drive a car. You don't have to drive a car. You don't even have to own a home, but everyone needs healthcare. And when you're paying extra for insurance for a rainy day scenario where you will be at your most vulnerable, you're falling on hard times, you are in need, and I'm sure this company, in their prospects, they make all these poetic promises, and then when it comes time to deliver on those promises, they're like, no, excuse after excuse. It's insane. They're not providing healthcare. They're just accountants. They're mathematicians. It's like their company is like a mint, the mint, like printing money. This meeting that Brian Thompson was supposed to attend, his projections for the shareholders, for the investors for 2025 was upwards of $450 billion. Billion, but with a B, billion. That's insane. So this company and a lot of companies that are supposed to be looking out for the well-being of the people, when they do come to that inevitable moment where they're in need, I mean, they can't be doing the work of Mother Teresa. They definitely cannot have bleeding hearts. Raking in those kind of profits, it's insane. Getting back to Brian Thompson being suited and booted well before 6:30, because again, he was not a guest at the Hilton. He was supposed to address the investors at the Hilton, but he was already suited. You see it in the video, which I will not share that here. They said that he was going to the Hilton early because he wanted to prepare for his speech. The only thing that makes sense about that to me is that he is estranged from his wife. They are separated. So it makes sense that he's tipping around at those kind of hours. I can't believe that the investors, the shareholders would be around anywhere near that time dressed already had their coffee, looking good, woke their face up, and want to start having an exchange, a serious exchange about their money. I don't believe it. And the assailant, I don't believe he was acting alone. CNN and other outlets, they keep repeating how organized he was. I don't believe he was acting alone. The theory is, or they have some evidence, that he came into town a month ahead of time. He went and stayed at this hostel in Manhattan, paid in cash with a fake alias, with an alias, fake Jersey, New York, somewhere around the area, a fake ID, and walked around the whole time. Nobody ever saw his face. He was covered up except for when he slipped in this little flirtatious situation with a woman at the counter at the hostel. Besides that, he kept his cover, and he had everything organized to go off on this bike and everything, and he knew exactly what door to go to. So he was on the phone. Who was he communicating with? This seems like a serious setup, because you just cannot get that lucky. And they said that he had training. So this was not, of course, nobody thinks it's random, but it was executed really well. Brian Thompson was a serious target. Now I'm going to read you something from the Daily Mail, because all the comments that I've been seeing in the US, it's like everyone has total sympathy. They're not even mentioning this man, Brian Thompson, being slain. It's like this just hit a nerve with people. It's like this shooting was a symptom of people's frustrations in their anger, because everyone, and I don't even believe, I just wonder who would even turn this guy in. Because of course the people that work with Brian Thompson, they're saying that he was a great guy, he'll be missed, he was an amazing person to work with, all those things. Coincidentally, his wife didn't say anything like that. But let me just read something from you from the UK, from the Daily Mail. Thompson is a married father of two who lives in a $1.5 million home in Maple Grove. I would expect it to be more expensive. That's in Minnesota. However, he and his wife, Pauletta Thompson, a physical therapist, are separated. He became the CEO of UnitedHealthcare in 2021 and earned a reported $10 million a year. He has been with the company for 20 years, previously serving as CEO for United Healthcare's government programs arm. This is the good part. Let me skip ahead. However, on Thompson's watch, the business has attracted scrutiny from the Department of Justice, the New York Times reports, was mentioned in a scathing Senate report, which cited a soaring number of denials in post-acute care. Denials leaped from 10.9% in 2020 to 22.7% in 2022. Just 1 year he's at the helm, and the denials more than doubled. That's cold-blooded. That's cold. I mean, if people are coming saying that they need care and they're willing to lay up in a hospital bed, I think 98% of the people, they must have a valid claim. They must need care. Come on. But this is who Brian Thompson is. Thompson was a certified public accountant at PricewaterhouseCoopers LLP, having obtained an accountancy degree from the University of Iowa. Prior to his murder, he had received threats referencing a lack of coverage, according to Paulette Thompson, his wife. I don't know how long they've been separated, but that she offered this information is kind of interesting, but it's something very strange about this. And even that they're saying that the assailant, I feel like I know his name, but nobody knows who he is. But we do know that he came in on a Greyhound bus a month before all of this, and that he dropped a bottle at the scene of the crime with a smudged fingerprint. Could he have done something that amateurish this late in the game after he did all that organizing? It's hard to imagine. United Healthcare is the #1 insurance provider for healthcare in the States. These people have been raking in the money. I've been reading comments, I've been looking at some of the coverage, and I'm just amazed. Not so much about the US. That is kind of amazing that you really don't hear any sympathy being voiced for Brian Thompson. But the things that people have to say. Now I'm just going to read from the Daily Mail in the UK, the comments. They're too much. UHC, United Healthcare, is notorious for denying all claims and making up their own rules that deviate from clinical and societal recommendations for determining disease, state, and treatment. They also refuse to discuss denials with physicians, which is unusual. This is a horrible tragedy, but when you run your business by denying care to your customers and boasting about record profits year over year, question mark, it's cold. Another comment. After years of exorbitant premium and denying 32% of claims that left people in tremendous pain or death, and added a great financial burden to families across America, as evidenced by 63% of all U.S. bankruptcies being medical bankruptcy. Wow. The killer has gone underground and he's been welcomed with open arms and has received a lot of help to evade the authorities from people who care less about the death of a health insurance CEO. I have no doubt that he'll be caught, but prosecuting Robin Hood will have consequences that could have a fed up general public's approval. One person wrote in the comment, first thing, he is long gone or soon to be disposed of. This was an organized hit, not some family member enacting justice. Plus, the top execs were being investigated for insider trading. Guess who knew too much? You know what? That's another thing. Why was he without his bodyguards? Some spokesperson for the company said all of them had security guards. Why was he walking without a security guard? He had death threats. I mean, it's something strange. Another person wrote, he has already helped shape insurance monoliths for better. Blue Cross changing their recent scam policy update, getting rid of that CEO was a small sacrifice for the billions of lives harmed. Deny, defend, depose. I guess that's taking in the money, defend your stance, double down, whatever your position is. Yeah, but this story is strange. And I think it's going to get more strange as things unfold. I don't think this story is going to disappear from the headlines anytime soon. I just wanted to chime in. And I'm just amazed at how people, they really have nothing. It's like a total understanding. I'm sure if I dig hard enough, I'll find someone that has something cross to say about the dude. I mean, he did just take somebody's life. I mean, it was really the whole thing is cold. When you think about people just being denied care. Hey, anyway, I'll keep up with the story. I do talk about other things. This is something I'm living abroad, and healthcare is definitely not the issue that it is in America. I have some videos on the topic, myself being an American expat. You might want to check those out. Please leave me a comment and let me know if you find things in this story kind of strange, like something's not adding up. And do like, share, and subscribe, because I do talk about other things. Until I see you the next time, keep living your life like it's golden and be well. Peace.